It's now time for the news review segment where we get to have a conversation on some of the topical issues that are dominating the media space. This morning, I have a member of parliament and a former member of parliament here with me. The member of parliament for Yendi, the Honorable Abdul Fattah Al-Hassan, is here, and the former member of parliament for Anya-Sotum, the Honorable Dr. Dixon Adumaku Kisi, is also here. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning, big boss.
It's good to see you. Good to have you.
Yeah, good to see you.
Right, we have a number of issues to deal with this morning, quite topical, and so we'd like to get straight into it. Let's start from the labor front. We've seen a number of agitations, especially with the Education Ministry and the Health Ministry. Various unions under these two ministries have had cause to complain or agitate regarding the non-payment, or if you like, delays in the payment of their salaries. Yesterday, the Minister for Health, Kwabena Akando, held a press conference and announced that financial clearance had been given, and so 10 months unpaid salary arrears for the nurses as well as midwives will be paid. He actually says that the clearance is for some 13,500 midwives and nurses. This should be good news for the nurses and, of course, our health professionals. But we're going to look at ways why these delays occur in the first place and how we can stop these delays. Because the 10 months that they have to wait, life is going on. Life is not waiting for them. And so they have the challenges that they face, even as the salaries continue to delay. But good news that the clearance has been secured. So, Honorable, I'll start with you. These salary delays, we've seen them time and again. And when the agitation starts, some were even saying that, in fact, the honeymoon is over for the NDC government. Once the agitation starts, the protests start, it means that the honeymoon is over. The goodwill is fast waning. But, I mean, your thoughts on these salary delays? We see them time and time again, and how we can stop these from occurring.
Well, thank you so much. And then good morning to my senior, and then good morning to you and your cherished viewers. And thank you for having me.
You like that acknowledgement there?
Oh, yeah. Let me shake hands with that. Oh, me, you know.
He was in private before me, so obviously he's a senior to me.
Well.
And thank you for pulling me out this early morning, but I was just surprised. I was supposed to actually rest. I got back from a trip yesterday in the afternoon. Just when I arrived, I think an hour or two after I arrived, I got a call that I was needed here. And I said, no, let me make it a point to be here at least. Well, on the issue of the delay in salary payment for our health professionals, I think it's something that we have come to live with for some time. But it's about time we worked it out. Like you are saying, when we came in as a government, there were nurses who were engaged. You know, we've just been like 8-9 months now in power. And so some of them had been engaged before the onset of the NDC administration.
True.
But you inherit both the assets and the liabilities. So having inherited that recruitment, it means that recruitment was done without an arrangement for their salaries, which was why they have not been paid. So for a government that has been like 8-9 months, it means that this is an issue that it came to inherit. But as for me, the issue of the nurses, the teachers, and their allowances and their salaries and those things, I think we have to look at it in a bigger picture. For instance, I ask myself, you look at how the whole process starts. Now, we have to get them into schools for training. Is that not it?
True.
Government spends. Once in training, they have to be given allowances. We are still talking as to whether we should maintain allowances or loans.
Well, it's politicians that politicize it.
No, I'm coming, government spends. Then school is completed. You understand? Yeah. Employed. In fact, sometimes they, after completion, they sit for some years,
before they get postings.
And then there are agitations. We've been sitting. As we speak, I think when NDC came to power, throughout the last 4 years of MPP, they never recruited a single health professional. From 2021, in fact, it was even from 2020 to 2024. And so we had like 4-5 year backlog to clear. And that is still an issue that this government has to deal with. Now, if you employ them, now the next phase, if you employ, you are only solving a part of the problem, because now the next phase is they are working, no pay. You understand? And then, and all those things. So I think it's an issue we have to look at. There was a time the health minister came to parliament, and then he made a very laudable suggestion, and I even asked him a question on that. You know about these issues.
This same health minister
Same
and
health
in the
minister.
ninth parliament.
Yeah, in the ninth parliament.
Very well.
It was to do with these health professionals. You know, there are some of them who are specialized in various areas.
True.
You understand? And when you are specialized, it gives you an upper hand in terms of the demand for you
Right.
on the labor market, and it's especially at the international level. You know, now government is trying to partner with other countries to kind of send out our health professionals. Now, these other countries, they have higher demand for professionals, those who are specialized in other areas of the profession, and not just general practice. Unfortunately for our country, Ghana, we have spent all these years training the general nurses. And so our even though we have the appetite to export, we do not have that human resource capital because almost all our nurses are general trained. And so from now going forward, I think when he came, he made mention of the fact that there was even going to be a program to take even the current graduates through another training to get them specialized in various fields. You understand? So that they can make meaningful impact, so that at least even when they are needed by countries like Barbados, when they are needed like by other countries, they are in the right position to go and serve those nations. And then we can have these nations take out some of these people, and they can work in those and bring us even for the foreign exchange that we need.
True.
You understand? But if we continue to spend all these resources in training general nurses, when even in our own hospitals we need the specialized ones. And so my first call is that the health ministry, as far as the education of our nurses is concerned, should take up the challenge of making sure that from now going forward, the professionals who are coming out are trained to specialize in various fields. In fact, from now going forward, you must be specialized in something. You should not just be a general nurse. So that at least even if the nation cannot absorb you, because it's sad to see that 4-5-year groups are still sitting in the house. In fact, the people who were recently absorbed, they were absorbed from the 2020-2021 year group.
Right.
So 2022, 2023, 2024.
They're still sitting home.
They are still sitting,
waiting for posting.
Now they will be protesting. When they are protesting, and then you absorb them, now they'll come to
unpaid
salaries. You understand? So there are phases of this. How do we nip this in the bud? It is about addressing the issue. If there are demands for them internationally, let's prepare them for the international market, so that we can get as many of them as we can do. And on the issue of the salary, I have no doubt that the government, as we speak, is in fact, if you look at the assurance that was given by the health minister, he gave the assurance that clearance has been sought for quite a number of them, and they will be paid in no time. 10 months is quite some time for someone to be working with that salary. And so I think I commend the government and the minister in particular for putting in the necessary measures to make sure that they are paid.
So we should take his word for it.
Inshallah. I'm very sure, I'm very positive that something will come out of it.
Very well. Let me say good morning to Larry Dogbe, editor of the Herald newspaper. Larry, good morning and welcome. Let me go to Doc before I come to you. Is it that we do not have a plan for the training and employment of some of these professionals? For which reason we have this, if you like, challenge every single year. We train, they remain at home, they stay at home, they agitate, we absorb them into the system, and we're unable to pay them. Then they have to agitate again.
Good morning and thanks for having me. I think when it comes to health, let me admit that, first of all, I'm a medical practitioner. I've done government work. I've also done private. And I've also been on the health committee for some time before I left Parliament. So I'm quite knowledgeable. Let me put on record that our healthcare financing in this country is not up to par with what is in other places. And what I think...
The healthcare financing here,
financing.
The provision of the service or all encompassing?
When I say healthcare financing, in other jurisdictions, you'd have insurance companies supporting healthcare, you'd have many institutions, to the extent that, let me say that in other places, well-to-do people bequeath huge amounts of money to healthcare. We are in Ghana, Africa. Our mentality, quite unfortunately, very different. I don't remember how many times the likes of Ghana Bill Gates, the likes of Ghana Elon Musk, and what I mean by that, people know them, have bequeathed huge sums of money for health. You know, and I think that we need to, as it is, rethink, as ordinary Ghanaians, the need to not only pay for your own health care, but the health of the nation as a whole. So we are in a very deep pit in terms of healthcare financing in this country. And then also, let me remind ourselves that our insurance scheme is new. The National Health Scheme, though has been in existence, is quite new. Even on the African continent, I think we're one of the few countries that have a very good, health insurance system, which now with the decoupling, I'm hoping that more funds will be made available. Granted that it should be appropriately skewed towards the actual service delivery.
Okay.
Not when you have a scenario where the NHIA levy, a good chunk is going towards things that are not even essential to healthcare. And I say this with the greatest of respect of the many governments that have come, including even my government, that it so happened that a good chunk of the NHIL funds were not actually going necessarily to health. If I tell you how much the National Health Insurance pays for shredding documents, you'll be surprised. Just to shred documents. It can buy us a lot of medication. So these are some of the things that needs attention. Now, the human capital aspect of healthcare, and that is where we are now, where the compensations for health care people is being toyed with. And I say this, I think that if in the future Ghana wishes to succeed, Ghana Health Services should be heavily maybe regionalized. And what I mean by that is that, naturally, when there are two schemes, even in government, people would then subscribe either to the northern scheme or the southern scheme. And then it will breed some level of efficiency for the northern scheme to work to, get some kind of doctors, or the southern scheme. As it stands now, some doctors like to work with SHAG, which is the Christian healthcare, than Ghana healthcare because of some of the conditions of service with that. And by virtue of just that alone, you get some people retained with Ghana, the Christian health program, more so than the Ghana Health Services, because of how the conditions of service are. There are also nurses who would prefer SHAG over Ghana Health Services. So this is one of the recommendations that if I could tell government, and naturally look at Ghana, is it GCB Bank? Ghana Commercial Bank. What I grew up knowing until EcoBank came, then GCB was forced to change how they do their service delivery. Sometimes when the status quo is maintained, and they can talk to doctors anyhow, and they can talk to nurses anyhow, they are not encouraged to do something new. So if we create a very different scheme in this country, and shake the system, maybe the cultures will change. And then the nurses also will be, screened properly to gain employment. And let me also say that there's a problem. We are literally producing a lot of nurses in this country because of the attractiveness of the industry, which is not bad. But we need to look at it and carefully consider the exploitation of the human capital, in addition to whatever we're doing. Because I think Ghana's nursing training can be improved to the extent that we can, quote unquote, export the labor. As it stands, people are already going without government necessarily fast tracking or doing that, facilitating it. And it won't stop, especially when you employ and you don't pay. And I'm deeply troubled by a scheme where you work for 10 months before you see your salary. I really think that there should be one government who will come and promise to Ghanaians that, as for me, when I employ you, month 1 or 2, you start getting your salary. It is so bad in terms of, influencing even the attitudes of the healthcare service delivery people. Because, listen, if I'm put in Yendi, which is, a nice place, and for 10 months, you haven't paid me. Sometimes when I see patients, I go boss more. Because
of course you're human.
Because I've not been paid. I'm hungry. Nothing, and I'm just doing hand to mouth as a doctor, hand to mouth as a nurse.
They're actually taking loans to be able to go to work.
So sometimes the attitude of our healthcare people, though it is not an excuse, sometimes can be troubling. So I really think that as a nation, one, we need to plan very carefully, and then funds for health need to go towards health. And, we're no more a non-oil revenue country. We have the oil, and based on that, the likes of Donald Trump think that we need to foot our own bill. And we need to conscientize ourselves to the fact that, hey, now USA aid is gone.
It's gone, yeah.
And if we don't wake up to those realities, I don't fancy or envy Akando today, because I know, excuse me to say, though he's in opposition, I must admit that USAID was supporting Ghana in many ways, in terms of even our vaccination. And a lot of these things have been stripped off because of almighty
Trump.
Donald Trump. And Ghana, in some ways, I think that admittedly, even before Donald Trump, based on the income in this country or revenue from oil, we were put on the list of, as it is, de-escalation from the World Global Vaccination Scheme, where we are supposed to be, over the years, now funding ourselves because we have the money. This one is not, Yatisikaso, but truly, we based on our middle incomeness in this country and the revenues we are getting, I mean, you can't tell the whole world you have gold board with all this money and then you cannot pay for vaccinations in your country. If I'm another country, I'll be asking myself that, you are making all of this money as a government and you cannot pay your nurses. You're making all of this money as a government and you're not paying your doctors. Then the whole concept of health being wealth of a nation, that means, excuse me to say, you're not getting it. So I think that, one, we need to certainly prioritize and admit that every life matters in this country. And for that reason, I hate to disclose this, but literally in Germany, you are pampered when you're sick, and they come and look for you when you're sick. And that is a beautiful thing about the German health. And that is what we should aspire for, where, excuse me to say, on a Friday, you see ambulance picking people who are heavily drunk on the street. I mean, it's just, I'm like, hey, Charlie, look at this. Obia kodnom nensa heavy abu eda kwan ho. Na ambulance abe fa no come. It's a good feeling. It doesn't mean you should go and get drunk, but it's a good feeling. So our healthcare needs to and to end, because I need to end for him to come in. when you look at the Arlington Cemetery, the budget for taking care of the dead in the U.S., and then you look at how we plan our budget for the living, we are in trouble. We need to certainly rethink, because I don't know how these people can sit down and budget heavy for those dying in the military up to 10 years. And money is there. It's just, it's there for the dying.
It's the planning. And
we are here, the living, let alone the mentally challenged people on our streets. We need to change. And they've showed the way. We need to just follow it. And also aiding. I commend the Chinese for copying
and
copying well.
Yeah. And adding on.
We need to just, the format is there. The format is there. So no big suits, no big ties, no big speeches. Let's just do what is right, reprioritize. I always say that I like the Japanese because their finance minister is the health minister, which means that if you look, their life expectancy in the world is the best because they are a healthy, conscious nation. And if you want to study old age, the only place in the world is Japan. They have a huge, population. Maybe Methuselah is Japanese. I don't know. You understand? Yeah. So these are my thoughts. But I like him admitting that when you inherit government, liabilities and assets are yours, and government is a continuum. So Akando, who is a very strategic demonstrator, and I say this with recourse to the fact that he would have been first out there supporting demonstration. He would have been first out there calling Minister of Health that pay them.
When he was ranking.
Now the ball is in his court. So I'll come and see you. Now the ball is in your court. And soon we will bring fire to you to make sure that you do the right thing. And I'm happy he admits yesterday when I watched him, I could see him saying that, this thing, I have to see finance minister about it too. I'm like, now you see how the heat is. So now he's on the hot seat. And, he is good he's communicating. And I'm hoping that the nurses will, wait and get paid. But Charlie, it's not fair. 10 plus months without salary. Yeah. Even when you are getting paid, you don't sit up. Let alone, and the family members too, sometimes they should be patient with their demands. Their demands,
And then when the appointment comes, then...
Once they see you are working, that means, l'argent.
Let me hear from Larry on this. All these labor agitations, delays in salary payments and all that.
More demonstration.
Yeah. Now, there's some relief for the health workers, at least, the nurses and the midwives.
Yeah. I think, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
My co-panelists, and good morning to our viewers. I feel that it was expected. Okay. How old is the government? The government is...
if you take out January, they are what? 9 months?
Yeah, they are 9 months. You get it. And you had walked into a situation that Honorable said, okay, there are two honorables here. Yendi Honorable.
Please, I'm an ordinary citizen.
So, mentioned that, there hasn't been any major employment since 2001. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's just the last intake were from the 2001 group.
One group, okay.
So that means the 2022, 2023, 2024 group are waiting to be posted.
Yes, I'm sure they will also, after this, they will start agitation very soon. And so then the situation continues. This is just the nurses talking. How about the medical doctors? I'm sure they'll also be out there. And then how about the other health,
ancillary.
Okay. They also...
in the health service, there are over 80 associations or unions, if you like.
80?
Yes.
Yo.
They have so many unions in the health service.
So every now and then there's going to be, worker agitation. People wanting to get in and people already in who have not been paid. You get it?
Yeah.
But to work for 10 months without salary, how are they coping? You get it? I don't know, I mean, what's been happening. If we have a need, a health need, we should prioritize it.
True.
You get it? And so you know that, like the military does, they know that this number of personnel will go on retirement. So every year there's a recruitment exercise that goes on. You get it? So that once a certain intake is phased in out, another intake is taken over.
Yeah.
Okay. In the military, they have the year, barrier or age thing.
Limit.
Is that?
The age limit.
Age limit, exactly. That, they recruit with. So there is, that there's a cohort that will be leaving at a certain point in time. Unlike the nursing profession where people got in at various ages. So again, you have an idea that, before, Dixon and any Larry Dogbe will be leaving, at a certain point in time. So what you do is that constantly have a way of, replacing these people. And once they leave, and there's a vacancy, the salary would obviously have to come to the new guy who has just entered. You get it? But if you have a situation where you don't recruit, meanwhile people have left, there's a vacancy. What it means is that when people report to these hospitals, how are they taken care of? What is the number, let's say the nurse-patient ratio? The same applies to the medical doctor and then all the ancillary, health personnel that he mentioned. Now, so we kind of have a way of compounding our own problems. You get it? So I can think of it that private sector would engage you, and in no time they are able to process your salary and other things.
Yeah.
Private sector that is driven on profit. Okay?
Yeah.
The state that is supposed to be a mother or a father, would engage you and it will take you forever. Meanwhile, that state is supposed to ensure your welfare. True. And not just your welfare as a worker, but the welfare of the patient. As he mentioned, that people get drunk. And, the ambulances that move every Friday, picking up drunk people, from the streets. Because they know that will be a burden on the state. Again, you have these Western countries that have, they have even animal police or something to that effect. Yeah. So if they care about animals, their dogs, their cats.
Somebody will call police that my dog is missing. And and Charlie,
a whole emergency system is activated.
Insurance system.
Yeah.
Health insurance packaging for animals.
Animals, okay.
Health insurance for animals.
You get it? We are here.
For dogs, pets.
You are working and the state doesn't care. How do you get to work?
Oh, now we have Mahama case.
Yeah, it's coming.
So how do you get to work? How do you feed? How do you pay your rent? And as I said, pressure comes as soon as you you are employed. How does it start? It starts from the family. Where
The charity begins at home.
The whole community is looking up to you. That your uncle could call you and say that, do you know something? I bought you this nice pen. I think you will need it.
Yeah.
Just finish school.
Trap.
Yes. Your auntie, possibly bought you a bucket when you were going for secondary school.
Yeah.
You get it. So, all these people are expecting a piece of the cake.
Yeah.
So they will call you, so you finish the school and you make sure you get some very good job and come and look after us. You understand?
Yeah.
And the pressure mounts that, that as soon as you get your appointment letter, you also go out there jubilating.
Yeah.
What you don't know is that
Salary is not coming.
Yeah,
10 months.
yeah, you can't go and tell them that salary is not coming.
They know that you are working.
Yeah,
So
you are
clearly-
working. And you move every morning, they see you go and come. Well dressed if you are in uniform. So you can't tell them that, hey, salary is not coming.
Yeah.
No. Nobody will believe you. You get it? I think the state must prioritize some of these things. Just as it's done to the security agencies, it should be done to the health sector as well. Because at the end of the day, everybody's life depends on what happens, within the health sector. Again, we can't continue to be training, huge numbers like that. Every community wants a nursing school built. Okay? Every community wants it. Now, so we are turning them out, and they become a burden on the state. Now, what do we do such that we free that burden off the state? By empowering the private sector. So institutions like the health regulatory, is it? HEFRA. I mean, they shouldn't just be seen closing down some of these, health
facilities.
Listen, they should ensure that systems are put in place such that at the end of the day they are well built, because there's a lot of issues even within the public health system.
Correct.
You get it? So if we have this private, sectors also absorbing some of these nurses, at least it frees the space, the pressure on government. Again, I mean, these people will end up...
The nurses, they don't want it that way. They want to do the government morning shift.
It is not what they
and
want.
go and do private evening shifts.
Yeah, exactly. You can do that. We can do that if that brings in the money and then reduces the pressure. One day they will go and say, listen, maybe the pressure is too much for me. Let me do the private sector.
True.
You get it? But it all boils down to we deciding that, hey, this is what we want to do. Government can't absorb everybody. Private sector must come in. Like he said, the Christian sector also taking on people. Exactly. So if the Christian, body is taking on, others can also take on. You get it?
Yeah.
But this thing where we are producing, and a while ago, I think I heard yesterday there was a debate about how many lawyers is enough. How many engineers are we producing? And vis-a-vis our development. So we keep producing, and then the country is still what it is. The debate is still what is
11,400 lawyers since 1877.
Okay. I mean, the debate has, is still what it has been since when?
1877.
Okay. You see, when Kwame Nkrumah said that from now on we need to show that a black man is capable of managing his own affairs, that wasn't said in a vacuum. It wasn't said in a vacuum.
True.
It was said with a certain mindset.
Correct.
Now, years on, are we managing ourselves well? Have we shown that capacity or capability to do that?
Once we travel out the country, we show.
Okay, we show it outside.
Absolutely. I
But
mean,
we don't show it within.
the system there makes Ghanaians perform very well.
Okay.
I mean, admittedly.
Including you.
Admittedly. But, so the systems have to be improved.
Yeah, we need to do that. We need to do that. See, we have so many, training institutions in this country. Come to think of it, engineering schools all over the place, universities all over the place. All you need is just to dream it.
And we need to revisit the KUST model.
Okay.
Because honestly, we have departed from that.
From that.
If you look at what Nkrumah had in mind.
It's now doing humanities
to
too.
do serious engineering, serious craftsmanship type thing. In fact, when you look at some of the glass designs in the UK and other places, fantastic, but we can't make them here.
Yeah.
I mean, excuse me, what we are sitting on maybe is Ghanaian, but it's highly likely suspicious if this was made in Ghana. You understand? And what kills me is even our furniture. Why should Ghanaians import furniture from outside?
Yeah.
Just because our finishing sometimes is not good.
Yeah.
So I really think that, yes, I like lawyers, but trust me, the likes of Nevada, they produce many lawyers, but to get to the bar and be accepted, very few, limited. You understand? So I really think that truly we need to revisit what Nkrumah had for tech and empower ourselves. And we have the minerals. So the mineral schools need to be improved to reduce galamseying. You understand? Yeah. So I'm with you.
You know, so
and then pay our people. Pay them when we work.
We can't continue with this debate. You know, narrative has become one way. It's become too, you know, one way. And I mean, some of us, yes, we have an interest in this whole thing.
True.
I mean,
Very well.
Yeah.
Very well. A few messages. This one says, good morning, I am Eben from Kwabenya. Thanks be to God, we have Abain Papa, that a humble health minister doesn't mind about those under him disrespecting him, but still listens to their concerns. Abain Papa, Abba Ampa. And then he has a number of greetings. So greetings to the Vice President, Professor Nanopo Kwajman, Honorable Courage Makafu Nunepeku, TDC boss, and Honorable Akwesi Mensa of PSC Tema Shipyard. Okay, Ebe, we hear you. Enoch Inafenya says the AG is on course now, and some of us believe he can do better. We want more of those that have looted the country for their own interest to be jailed, and the money retrieved as promised. Oral. We in PSC Tema Shipyard need a board, and we are begging the President, Mahama, to hear us. Okay, we'll get to the oral matters next, but I like this one. Amino from Sawam says, if we have the capacity to train more health professionals, yet our healthcare system struggles with a poor health professional to patient ratio, and we are not utilizing our trained professionals, shouldn't we establish a system to export them and generate revenue from their services? This income could then be used to employ additional professionals to address our local needs. I think I like this as well. Well, let's move on to the issue of the national service scandal. Yesterday,
I had wanted to make a point, you know, before Honorable interjected.
Right, briefly.
About how, you know something, we spend so much money
in training?
In training people down here. UK, okay? Most of their universities have built outlets here.
Yeah.
And they are running courses that most of our universities are running. And Ghanaians subscribe to some of those courses. And they are paying thousands of pounds every semester.
Yeah.
Every semester. What do? Do we also make sure that our universities or our tertiary institutions are, you know, structured in such a way that we can, you know, bring in people from the, you know, from neighboring countries to come and study here?
I think that happens.
Yeah, but how deliberate is that?
Yeah.
How deliberate is that? We need to be
We're
conscious.
doing well with the Nigerians now.
Yes, but they are not. They are coming on their own. They come on their own.
Yeah.
It's not a deliberate effort.
Yeah.
You know, unlike the UK system or the American system where, you know, universities come, for the British, for instance, they come to British Council. And then they are able, they do, you know, student fairs or something.
Even Australia is doing one, I think, this week or so.
Okay.
Well,
You get
that's the challenge. We are giving scholarships to people to go and study what is being taught here.
Exactly.
So,
No, but that is gradually changing with the new scholarship bill.
I was scandalized when this same National Service Scheme we were coming to talk about.
Yeah.
You know, at the inception of the Akufo-Addo government, the Minister of Education, Napo, the Yusuf, and then some of them, they went to Harvard, thousands of dollars, to go and study governance and leadership. That same course was being taught by Gimpa. Okay? At an executive level, and no less a course at all. You get it?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, we are in trouble, guys.
If I may add, respectfully, you know, your class depends also largely on the exposure of the people you sit with.
Yeah.
And I must admit, doing calculus in Ghana and doing calculus in the US, it's totally different.
But that's where the problem is.
I have to admit, you know, listen, in the US, the calculus I did, same concept, but you are being taught by somebody who's done research on calculus for 50 years. And please, I mean, even computing here. The reason why Bill Gates did not finish Harvard, he knew competing better than the professors. So that natural experience, exposure, makes it very different. If I sit in New York with people from all over the world to do this management course, somebody with a Ugandan experience is coming on board. Somebody with a Chinese experience. So I beg to differ in the sense that the exposure makes a difference.
That's what we have filled.
Yeah.
We could have created something for ourselves here.
The exposure makes a difference.
So we have filled.
I respectfully. Yeah. I mean, that one I have to, once I'm
but
here.
We are filled. We could have upgraded our education system to that level
but
as well.
Yeah.
For what we are going to discuss is that they learned the governance. And today we are heading to the courts.
Well, let's go there.
They learned the governance with the exposure and everything. And today we are heading to the courts.
Let's go
based
there.
On that management.
Before we do, Kwamina Ansah says, good morning, Anna. The problem in Ghana is there are so many nurses in our hospitals doing a small job. We should sit down as a country to plan. I think planning is the bedrock of all of these issues.
Planning for how many years?
We've been planning to fail.
If they tell you what has been planned and what's on paper
and what is being implemented,
the
the stark difference.
We've been planning
contradictions.
To plan.
Yeah,
that's a problem.
Headlines. Yeah. Ghana has been planning to plan.
You remember the Konumti?
Anyways, national service scandal. So yesterday, the Attorney General officially preferred some charges against the then boss, that's Osei Asibiatri, and then his then deputy, Gov't or Wari Mensah. I think she's a Mensah, yeah. Wari Mensah. Yeah, so 600 million CDs, 38 million CDs, ghost names, contracts, loans, and all that. Honorable, is oral being oral or is oral sleeping?
Well, oral
is
actually in full swing.
Is it?
You see, many people have a complete misunderstanding of the whole concept. You see, if you come to the legal field, if you give me a case to handle, for instance, I'm a prosecutor, like we have with our state attorneys, and so the Attorney General and the likes.
Yeah.
Oral did its work and handed over its report of finance to government, the president, who also gave it to which people? The Attorney General's office. Is that not it? Now, no Attorney General worth his salt will get up and take that document running to court. That would be a recipe for disaster. As a lawyer, if I see any Attorney General taking a report by another body which has done its investigation, which body I did not have supervision over. You understand?
Yeah.
I didn't supervise that investigation.
Yeah.
I don't know how they did their investigation. I'm just taking that report. And you expect them to just take it and run to court as Attorney General. That would be a very disastrous step to take.
Yeah.
And so, as for we the lawyers, we understand this work. And so when I see the Attorney General taking his time to do some of these things, I know what he's doing.
It has to be due process.
But the public will not understand it that way. The public feels someone else has done the work for you. You take it and go to court. But remember, the same public will not forgive you if you go to court and fail to win the case.
True.
So it is better to hasten slowly and get the work done and done well.
Do you know why there are concerns or there's pressure from
because
the public?
of the pronouncements that were made prior to the election. And
And the
justified.
various, and subsequently when you came to power, the various press conferences and all.
I am not in any way.
We were of the
I
belief
am
that
not
by
in
the
any
next
way
morning,
condemning the
people will be
public
behind bars.
for their impatience. I truly associate myself and accept the fact that the public have justified in their concerns.
Right.
But we also still have to explain to them, as a government, that the fact that AG has been given a report does not mean the AG should just rush to court. Now, if I go to court, I have to go to the court knowing very well that I have full trust and confidence in what I'm taking to court. And so if Aura has done its work and has presented its report to me, I have to go back and take each and every one of it.
Yeah.
You understand? And then see how the investigation was conducted. Because remember, in our criminal jurisprudence, the investigation process is as crucial as the trial.
It's at the heart of everything.
It's at the heart of everything.
Yeah.
And so if somebody else does its investigations and brings you a report and you get up and run to court and you have not questioned
the mode of investigation that went into the generation of that report, you are heading for serious disaster. And so to me, the Attorney General must exercise caution, take each and every item in the report, undergo another thorough investigation and establish its findings. Maybe it may establish that what is in the oral may not necessarily be the case. It is left onto them because it is not the oral team that will eventually prosecute the case. It is the Attorney General. So let the Attorney General be satisfied with his findings. The oral says we are targeting about 22, is it 22 or 29 billion US dollars to recover. As for me, I'll only be satisfied if that comes from the Attorney General because the oral is never to prosecute these cases. Some of these findings may just be fanciful. They may not be born out of thorough disease. And remember, state has spent money to train people to investigate.
True.
None of these people was involved in this investigation. No one, the other team, did you find any investigator trained and working under AG? No. So let the AG do its work.
But there was a lawyer.
I'm a lawyer, I'm not an investigator.
No, I'm saying there was a lawyer.
Yeah, I'm a lawyer, but I'm not an investigator. You understand? People, that's the problem we have about Ghana here. We want to be jack of all trades.
So
you understand?
So maybe the
That's why
composition.
there are some journalists who are not investigative journalists.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
True.
So let's allow the way. So, but if you look at
If the composition of the oral team had an investigator on
that
there,
still would not have satisfied them.
still would not have.
Because the AG, unless that person, you see, at the time the order was formed, remember there was no AG.
True.
I don't know where he got it.
There's even no local.
There was even
Yeah.
The government had not even been sworn in.
So
So who knew who would have been the AG?
Yeah.
You and I wouldn't know. You understand? And so that person, even if the person had been an investigator, was not sanctioned by the one who is going to prosecute the case. Because if I ask you to investigate, I'll give you your terms. I'll let you know what and what you should be looking for.
True.
When you produce that report, that is what will satisfy me as to whether I should proceed to court with it or not. And so I would, and if you look at the Attorney General and how it has proceeded so far, to me, I would not say it has been very slow. As a lawyer, I know what goes into investigations. I would never say, look, a number of people are being investigated. The one to me matter. One to me is under investigation. You understand? We've seen the
Signals Bureau.
the Signals Bureau, and another key matter, the SkyTrain matter.
SkyTrain.
You understand?
National
That one is not
Service.
even, they are even in court.
Yeah.
Even Signals Bureau, they are also in
They're
court.
also in court.
The AG is doing a lot. And a lot goes into this. Let's allow the AG. Now, if you look at the Gifty,
If you're worried.
see there, when you were talking, I saw your phone was with me, or was just by me here, and I saw one Gifty calling. I said, hey, is this Gifty? But you see, if you look at their case, it's quite troubling. In fact, some of the revelations so far, to the extent that if you look at the names that are popping up in terms of the data submitted to the AGB for the loan that they took from AGB, the loan she took, about 31.5 million Ghana cedis. You would have people who are put there as national service personnel who are 93 years old. A 93-year-old person still doing his service with national
How old
service.
is Bobia?
Tell me.
You know the funny thing about their elections?
Tell me.
We understand there was a Mohammed Salah in the register.
Oh, how? Well, names.
His picture was in there.
If you say names, the same thing here.
Yeah.
They have in their data,
Yeah.
in that data,
Yeah.
226 name, one name, repeatedly appearing 226 times. Yakubu, is it Yakubu Fuseni, who completed UGS in the same course, in the same year. But you can tell me that
In different schools.
No, in the same school.
In the same school.
You know,
But the name was repeated.
Since we're on this matter, let me be a bit.
You come in.
Allow him to
You
talk.
come
Allow
in.
him to talk. Or the Gifty.
No. I think that, to be counsel, to be fair, we've all done administrative work. There's some things that are clerical, even when you scrub your data. And those things that are administrative or clerical should not be confused with, even today, as the NDC is in power, I'm sure that if we look at the National Service data, they might have some duplication of names, some age misplacement by virtue of somebody entering a 29-year-old as a 99-year-old. I mean, so I think that those things are not really.
Let me assist in 1 minute. The thing is that by the arrangements they have, the schools are the ones that are supposed to enter the data, not the national service. Now, what is happening is this: you had the schools entering, but people at the secretariat also entering,
in the name
and
of
that
the
is
school.
where the ghost name came from.
No, I'm not.
But you see,
mind
I
you, I am talking.
I think you are trying to
I'm talking about
play
like to
down
have a
on the
99-year-old
Right.
doing national service.
93. I
So
said
it
93.
could be a data entry
those
error.
are so I'm a bit.
No.
Read some of the listings, some of the
I'm
reports.
sure if you read the finding,
Yeah.
you'll be scandalized.
Read some of the
No, but the
reports.
findings, and that's why I'm saying that. So these clerical
the
things
thing I want to
are
say
there.
something.
Oh,
But
no,
it's
definitely,
not even
definitely
my
will,
intent, so let me
definitely.
just.
They are taking
Let's
over
say
my
that.
time too.
We're on
Senior
honorable
is
taking my
I think
turn
it's
now.
when you have taken my time, you are asking for yours again.
Just a quick one on the clerical issues you raised.
Yeah,
If I am in charge, definitely I know there will be some of this error. So, I mean, there should be a schedule, occasionally or periodically, and audit should be conducted into
And
the
let me tell you, when this report is coming out after investigations, it is no more like the administrative thing you are talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you privy to the content of the Attorney General's charges, all of it?
Oh, but they are
Oh yeah, the
public
judges, they are
documents.
everywhere. It's
as,
on the
in,
public.
as in, like, as for the charges, yes, but I'm talking about the back end.
No,
documents.
we've seen snippets of it.
But he's
Yeah,
an
okay.
MP.
We've
No,
seen snippets
you are
of
not
it.
entitled to that.
He's
No,
an
no,
MP.
no, he was-
Yeah,
he was-
maybe you weren't, but he's a lawyer.
We've seen
Well, I'm
snippets
saying,
of that.
I'm saying there are many cases that we're not entitled to the actual.
Very well.
This
Do
is
you let's
not a
have honorable
confidential
finishes submission
This
then.
matter, in fact, in any case, when you are even being investigated, some of the questions that are put to you, you have to go and provide answers. I don't just come and say you are accused of this, so I should take you to court. I'll give you those things
Yeah.
in the process of my investigation, and you
understand.
provide report. Your
As it
access
stands
to
now,
those things. Those
the
things are
prosecutor will hand over to the defense lawyer all the things they have.
all disclosures.
But we will not all be in possession of that.
No, unless you are no, you're not interested. I being a lawyer, I will pursue such a thing. Yeah, I will need.
So
I will
have you
need those.
pursued it?
No, that's what I'm saying. I've seen snippets.
You've snippets. Okay.
Very well.
And it's staggering. It's staggering. You see, and then you see, if you look at the charges, we have willfully causing financial loss, we have stealing,
Money laundering.
we have money laundering, and all those things, especially in respect of gifting. Now, if you look at it, and maybe Senior is trying to say we shouldn't prejudge some of these issues, which I agree, but to the extent that even it can be established that you went for this loan, you present a data of the number, there was this system that was established for people to access certain higher purchases, for certain facilities on higher purchases. You buy, not just every person will be able to buy TV and other things on higher purchases and use their running allowances to pay. A data was submitted. Monies, AGB gave out a loan of 31.5 million. This money in one spot was moved from the National Service Scheme, that project account, to another account called, what is the name of that account? Blocks of Life.
Yeah.
It was moved
Yeah,
and
I'll just look it up real quick.
en bloc from this project that was established at the National Service Secretariat to Blocks of Life or something.
Blocks of Life Consults.
Blocks of Life Consult.
Yeah.
To that account.
To
And that
supply
has-
goods on higher purchase basis.
Yes.
Yeah.
And these people that you have submitted the data, there's no evidence that anybody has been supplied any item. You have not been able to produce a single item. And in addition to this money that has been taken, ADB has charged the state 6.9, almost 7 million Ghana cedis, which National Service has paid. You look at this. Even if you took state 1.6 and you are even paying the interest, at least to pay the interest on behalf of them, because you took the money on behalf of
So
National
the
Service.
principal went to a private company.
The
Yes.
principal was taken to the
But the
Blocks of Life
interest-
Consult.
Okay, and then by the interest
It was paid by National Service.
Nice one.
It's double job, but that is serious. No, but it's when you Senior, when you see some of these things, you will be scandalized. But I still say it's
Yeah, sure, sir. 701 in the table.
Very well. Very well.
it's-
Let me take a quick break. Doc, when I come back, I'll come to you and then I'll pick your thoughts on it. This is Breakfast Daily here on Channel One Television. Send your messages in. We'll do our best to read them, but stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Breakfast Daily here on Channel One Television. We're having a conversation regarding the National Service scandal. I'll be going to Doc pretty shortly to add a few of your messages. This one is passing some information to us. regarding the earlier issue we're discussing. It says KNUST has a campus in Gambia. They trained Gambia's first homely trained engineers this year. Okay.
I think Gimpa too.
Okay.
We ran some, program with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, very well. Politics is a sure way to wealth. Doc.
False.
Okay.
Unless you're
Law is a sure way to politics.
how?
Do the math. We are breeding politicians like poultry chicken. A sure way to destroying the future of this country.
Let me discourage them. There might be 10 politicians who make it, but a good number of us are broke politicians, and that is the
Why do you keep putting yourself in that bracket?
that a good number of us are broke politicians. I mean, the truth always holds. We cannot cry my free, many politicians.
I like that.
many politicians, and let me tell people that listen, I always talk about Vegas because I love Vegas. I must admit, the Bellagio is the Phoenician. I mean, I love Vegas.
Is it the chacha part of Vegas? Or
let me say that. So the key thing is that everybody goes to Vegas hoping to leave with something.
Yeah.
One out of a lot leave with something. Many go in and just pour their money and go broke. So I want to today let people know that politics as it is, there are a few who truly hit the jackpot. And those few are the ones everybody sees. The Asamoahs in politics, the they are used in politics. There are many footballers, but the strikers and the captains are the ones we know. Right. And if you think of just them and you go playing football, you might be discouraged. So, there are the Napos of politics, the Mahamas of politics. Not all of them are necessarily
the Brian Champons.
The Brian Champons of politics. Yeah. And whilst we've gone there, let me admit that yesterday he came to my constituency.
Wow.
And it was a rousing, and I call it a revival of the MPP's spirit. And he made a remark that since we've...
He's using his time. Now he's campaigning. You know that he's using his time.
Since our letdown and our humongous defeat, yesterday was the first time we've had everybody together. And it was nice. I mean, I literally felt like I was seeing ghosts. People I've not seen in a long time. And the message was quite clear that Greater Accra region loves Brian Champon or is in love with Brian Champon. I'm very fascinated by that and reassured that if we don't win any region, Greater Accra region will do fantastic. So if you've not changed your mind as a delegate, join us. And let's do Greater Accra.
That's his submission on the National Service scandal. So if you can move to
now back to
that note of seeing ghosts. Seeing ghosts yesterday, let's look at the ghost names in the service scandal.
Back to the national service thing. Listen, it's quite unfortunate that, let me put it out, that every political party, when they come into power, they, as it is, almost faithful for any. Understand? And the whole idea that because we felt that MPP was doing scandals, there's certainly going to be some witch hunting. And it might fall on anybody in the government. And I think that Gov't is a victim of circumstances in that regard. I say this with the greatest of respect because the NDC suffered the same. Their national service woman, I used to sit with her. I've forgotten her. She was Obom Domia Brez MP. Sophia, if we can revisit, Sophia had issues at national service quite similar about ghost names.
No, Sophia didn't. Sophia, I'm coming.
Was she at national service?
She was at national service.
So
it was Alhaji Imoro.
Imoro.
Okay.
So Sophia was sent there, and then during the time, it was discovered that Alhaji Imoro and others, had misconducted themselves.
So my point is that
Sophia... So it's only Sophia.
No.
Let's correct that.
Oh, No. Hear me out.
If you bring in names at this
Yeah.
time,
No,
so you're
no.
trying
Hear me
to
out.
equalize.
Hold on.
I am
Let's-
saying
That is
that
how come Sofia was not put on trial. But Laji Moro and
Right.
some other
But
directors
it was
were.
during her time
But
that
my
Alhaji
point-
Moro and the others
my
issues
point is that-
came covered.
Exactly.
I think that's what he's saying.
Please, my point is
No,
that
she said she had
Sophia
issues, similar
suffered.
issues.
Okay.
she suffered. She was branded that way.
Right,
True or false?
right.
Well, I didn't.
Oh,
no,
I mean, you've
no, I
just
didn't get that.
narrated the same thing.
Okay,
So
so
my
just-
point is that this issue with Gov't, again, maybe is that under the NDC administration, and today, you're even helping me by saying that when further investigations were done, it turned out that it was not even Sophia. So my point here is that I think that let's proceed with caution. I find it very painful when people's hard-earned reputations are damaged overnight, and I'll wait. There's always, always put on a defense lawyer's headgear, and about these things, as you go deeper, from my own public accounts committee experience, as you delve deeper, you realize that maybe this was clerical error. This 90-year-old person. I mean, I'm even asking myself, how do you pay a 90-year-old doing national service? And for how long? Did it run through for 4 years? Because national service is 1 year. Did it run through for 2 years? These are some of the questions we all, and it's not nice to put out things when you're just putting out things for putting out sake. Let's wait. I am not privy to the entirety of all these court handlings. You've said one transaction that was moved from one fund to another. There might be memos within the National Service arrangement,
No
Which-
AG will proceed to court if
Oh,
they
no.
are
I said there
documents-
might be. Please, hear me out. And listen, based on my experience.
No, you can't say that. I mean, we have cases where AGs were on phone.
my thing is that
AGs were on phone.
Yes,
With people they were prosecuting.
asking people to skew
even looking at governmental work, the auditors for National Service Secretariat may have queried this transaction he's talking about.
Yeah.
And do we know what the auditors' findings were when they queried? I'm interested in knowing that. When I see how the auditor's report was answered by the, the establishment, we might then get better insight as to how funds meant for high purchase ended up in a private corporation's account.
Owned by the deputy.
And this is
executive.
this is basic, affording somebody the opportunity during discovery to let you know what and what and what. And mind you, you can't be charged with 20 counts and there's 2 counts that might hold in court.
Right.
So let's be patient. Don't put the cart before the horse. The horse always has to go first. And I agree with you. It's nice you put on the lawyerly hat, but let's put on the defense lawyer's hat. And wait for that. And let me say that, listen, it's unfortunate that Gov't and this fantastic, he's actually a hoteler. I mean, let's admit.
Osasibe.
Osei Sibe is, he's a very powerful businessman. Was KMA boss before coming to national service. A person of high repute, and I'll be very, surprised if all of these things, but knowing how governance is, I mean, once you move government money, even to build a KVIP, which the kind of signatories that go into it, let's be mindful of that. And in all of this, this might go on. I remember how long Opuni's case is classic, almost a decade.
You didn't have a case, but you were bent on.
Oh, so you know that it can be the case. So all the charges that the MPP gave to Opuni, what happened? No, I'm just saying. So,
Your Attorney General was entirely different from the one we have
early
today.
days yet.
This one is a
I think that we need to offer them, the innocence until proven, and not prejudge.
bit. Yeah.
she's a very fantastic lady, unfortunately. Just as, what was the woman's name you mentioned?
So far.
Sophia is also a very fantastic woman who was, unfortunately also wrongfully, that's the word, wrongfully accused.
Yo.
Na
Nchechemu Nimra.
Mbra.
Very well. There's a message that says the government talks too much. Anybody found culpable or has stolen state resources must be prosecuted regardless of his or her status. Sahaj Ahmed from Nima. I think this point has been made over and over again that the oral committee was just a preparatory team, not an investigative one. Wisdom from Kaswa. Yes, I think that's been established. Good morning. There's money in Ghana. These people should be sentenced to 80 years if proven guilty to serve as a deterrent to others. I'm a strong MPP person, but NDC is working. Okay.
Thank you.
This one says, hey, 38 million CDs and 600 million. There's money in Ghana. Wow. Indeed. Larry, it seems everybody is talking about the Gifty Owari one. There's not much talk about the Osasibe one. But the Osasibe one is some
It's bigger.
600 million CDs.
Yeah, but for me,
And he was the boss.
yeah, he was the boss. But I think Gifty lasted there more than
Okay.
Gifty was from day one.
Was from day one. Was part of the Yusuf group.
Okay.
Now let's do this. I recall on June 13th this year,
Okay.
the Attorney General did a press conference where he listed about 12 individuals who had who were responsible for some of this thing. In there was Yusuf Mustafa, who is the Yaboba MP.
Former sports minister.
Yaba, sorry. And then
Former sports minister.
sure, the Attorney General directly accused him and others. And then Yusuf came out and then issued a statement saying that he was ready to face the law and then explain, all that he knows about whatever it is that had happened. But in this charge sheet, his name is not part of it. Okay? During that press conference, Dominic Ayeni mentioned that over 548 million Ghana cedis was involved, as ghost names and other things and so on. Now, the people that have been put before court, these are not 12, are they?
No, these are just two.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Every AG and the star. Sometimes it depends on the state of the investigations.
Okay.
So
So
it
at
means
the time he was talking, he wasn't sure.
No. You see, he put out that information, and like Yusuf said, Yusuf was ready to provide responses. Is that not it?
Okay.
So maybe they are still in that talk.
Okay.
Yusuf is providing them.
Or maybe the plea bargaining is going on.
No, the plea bargain, the matter has to even be in court.
Or Yusuf wants to be a prosecution witness.
So
That is possible.
That's what the
Negotiations
AG
are
allow the
happening.
AG.
Yeah.
So the AG will come. So this number can shoot tomorrow, the next day.
Yeah.
It
a process.
depends on. It depends on.
But
the
you see, for
investigation
me,
at
I think that let's look at it in a very broad way. Whatever decision that Dominic Ayeni, whatever conclusion he comes to, he needs to come back to the people to tell us exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Because you can't do a press conference, media, wide coverage, all over the place.
True.
And then you just put two individuals. Either your investigation has proven that it is just these two individuals. You have to come out to tell us.
Yeah, I agree.
Either Mustafa Yusuf wants to be a prosecution witness. You need to tell us.
Right.
Or an informant.
Or an informant. You need to
Sorry, I'm not. Once you are picking on the AG,
I'm not picking on him.
Why are you also on Mustafa when you are saying 12?
Oh, no, it is his words.
Yeah, so the 12, bring the other people on board. Why?
Oh, no,
why only
so,
one person?
so in there, it's Yusuf standing out, saying that, listen,
because
and then
it's,
he's even issuing a statement that, listen, I'm ready to do this.
Yeah.
You get it?
So all the others. I think
Yes,
you should
all the
provide-
exactly. He should give us, update on all the others, or else what he will face accusations of, trying to, let others off the hook,
Yeah, I
or
agree.
because Yusuf is in
It's
parliament.
justified.
He's a former.
With some immunities.
Well, we've had history where Atufosun was on trial. Who else was on trial? MPs have been on trial. Abu Dhabi, was on trial,
process
and
is
many
different.
others. Yeah. So, see, we need to get to the bottom of this. Having said that, there was in 2014, the Alhaji Al-Hassan Imoro Group.
Immoral. Yeah.
In that, the one that Dixon is talking about, in that instance, the money involved was 86.9 million Ghana cedis. A trial was instituted. Midway, there was a change of government. But before then, you know what was happening? Most of the lawyers were people from the NPP stock, including Gov't.
These are the defense lawyers.
These are the defense lawyers. So as soon as Akufo-Addo won the election, quickly that whole trial was just thrown away. Because then the claim was that the people who were put on trial were all MPP people.
Right.
You get it? Having said that, I remember I interacted with Sofa Akua on this particular matter. She was investigated. She appeared before the BNI and many other institutions. The conclusion they came to, I'm told, was that, they noticed that most of these things that happen not, not during her time.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I think she was there with Kwesa White also.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kwesa White, and then later Kwak Benu and all that.
Yeah.
And so, it was Alhaji Imoro's group that were found to have, where 4 houses were acquired within a space of 2 years and so on. Hey, is that how we are running the country? Sometimes you acquire all these things and they lie waste.
Yeah, you even died the next
You die the next day and leave them. They were tried. Okay? Like the lawyer said, what level of investigation went in there? Can that case be revived? Because if we fail to punish one individual, you can imagine why this whole thing is continuing.
If people had been punished in the past.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I keep saying the certainty of punishment.
Yes. And like he
what's a deterrent.
said, we cannot assume that the NDC guys who are in office now are immune from it.
No.
Do you understand?
Already we've seen some 1 or 2.
Yeah, we've seen some movements which are, the removal of Jemfi.
Yeah.
For me, was one of the scandalous moments in this country's history, if you ask me. Where reports upon reports were done, BNI reports, KPMG reports, Auditor General's reports were done and put before the presidency. Now listen, the software that you're supposed to use, the software, there's nothing wrong with it. It was human activity that, inflicted a ghost name in there.
Yeah.
The government wasn't interested in all that. They were rather for the minister who wants to do a fresh, portal. Hence the delay in having national service people posted.
Yeah.
You get it?
They are not registering.
They are now registering. Listen, we need to police that space very, very, very well. Or else other ghost names, other ghost names.
Looks like an avenue for amassing wealth.
Yes, that is what they do. And you hear the kind of things you hear that, Yensu or say Yenyebi, Yensu or say Yenyebi, Yensu or say Yenyebi. Honorable, it is for me. It's, I don't have the words for it, but we need to be alert to this thing because we should also be getting tired talking about it. Okay, by insisting that those who do it are punished. You can't be handed a stewardship to manage it. You opted to come into the public space. You knew that the salary is not enough. The allowances wouldn't take you anywhere. Whatever benefits there are, it's not like the private sector. You opted to come there. You don't come and amass wealth. And then at the end of the day, we are talking about, and especially about, memos and, documents and all that. I'm sure, the investigators would have perused all that.
Yeah.
The AG would have also gone through
Audit findings.
Exactly. Before
And,
putting...
and response, management exit interviews.
Yes. And I'm saying this, highly conflicted because Gifty is a friend of mine. You get it? But hey, I want to have a friend who is, in a good shape.
Who's like you?
No, I'm not clean. I don't think I'm clean. But I want to have a friend, who is probably like you. So, some of these things, listen, it's they are far-fetched. How many millions of Ghana cedis? and that, the private companies, just surfaced.
Yeah.
Arrangements were done with the bank where monies landed, and then went to your private company. And from there on, the state will now have to pay interest on that which you had acquired. I hope it's not true.
At a point, we were told some 189 million cedis was discovered in a BOG account.
Oh, okay.
From this same national
From
service
this same
scandal.
national service. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that Dominic Haini would also have to brief us on the others. This is just two. How about the 10 others, including Mustafa Yusuf? Because it's not enough to just hold a press conference, raising our hopes, telling us that things have been discovered, and then at the next moment you only put 2 people on trial. I've seen that in many places. Some of them, they will do huge press conferences, tell us that, Asimesi is involved in this, or Bintang has done this. Then at the end of the day, we don't see any trial.
And that's what I was referring.
I mean, the ECG matter is one. Yeah. One day, somebody announced that containers were missing.
That's why most people are of the opinion that those press conferences
are needless. Yes.
Because and now we are impatient. We want to hear what is happening. And we're not getting it.
To foresee the military one, for instance, where there was a petitioner over this Soviet Union scrap thing. There was a petitioner.
The tanks.
Yes, the tanks. They petitioned the president. The president then, minuted on that document and handed it over to the military to do what they call a summary investigation. That investigation was done. The report was submitted back to the president. The next moment, the main architect involved in that, procurement, has been made an ambassador, a deputy ambassador to Canada. I mean, what do you do with such a thing? Okay? I mean, it defeats your commitment to, addressing corruption. It defeats your commitment to resetting the whole thing. You are also empowering the people in the military now to say that, listen, you can also do it. I mean, thanks be to God if the other guy forgives you. It doesn't augur well. You also put people in danger, including, reporters who had worked on this particular matter. You understand? So our investigation should be, anyway.
Very well. Kofi Ima from Kumasi says 600 million cedis, Ghana, and yet it takes months for allowances to come. If you want to be a professional thief, just be a politician.
Tell him that the military.
But some of these people were not.
Tell him that the military procured scraps that can't be used, honorable. They can't be used. Over 53-year-old tanks.
Armored
perforated.
Tanks.
Soldiers can use them for. Do you know how much? $10.5 million. Okay? And if the commander-in-chief has ordered for an investigation to be done, the investigation has been done, we should put in place measures where people are punished. You don't appoint a guy like that to go and become a deputy ambassador. Where? For what? To do what? What, what example are we setting to junior officers?
Is it the one who was made a 4-star?
Sorry.
So Kofi Ima, so you have a response. But your final part, I don't think Doc will be happy with it. It's just if you want to be a professional thief, just be a politician.
Oh, no, that's not true. No, there are decent politicians. And Dixon is one.
It's not surprising that all these discussions on the national service scandal will end up to nothing. The ambulance scandal was an example. This is Swala from La Paz. This one,
Ken Oforiatta is currently being tried.
Yeah, but the ambulance scandals, there are two.
There are two. Is it that 2 forcing one?
There are 2 forcing one.
Or the
one involving President Akufo-Addo's daughter's one.
This one says, good morning, boss. My regards to Mr. Dogbe. It has been a while. He says he's Kenzie.
Oh, okay.
Hey. Okay. Doc, so this one is for you. It says to tell you that it's unfortunate that you are daydreaming on Brian Echampo. He will come nowhere near Dr. Baumia in the Greater Accra region. NPP delegates have decided already. This is Musa from Adenta.
I really didn't want to go there, but in the primaries, the last primaries, he underperformed in Greater Accra. And in Greater Accra, since he's going there, presidency, we won only 2 out of the 34. I really didn't want to go there. This is an internal contest. So if they should do their checks, Greater Accra is not very responsive to him like they are responding to Dr. Brady Champon.
Right.
And that one is not me. It's the euphoria I'm assessing from behind.
Very well.
So I really didn't want to go there.
Very well.
It's internal things. So let's wait. I mean, the sweetness is in the pudding. Only 100 days left. Yeah.
Right.
And,
31st January
we are
is just around the corner.
sustaining it.
Do you want us to
so
bet?
I want to.
You want to bet?
Oh, listen.
But they've been able to pay 4 million
I'll
CDs
put my
development.
water on
They
it.
can
No,
afford
did
to
they pay
bet.
that money? Did they pay?
Ask him,
They
they
said
paid
they
4
won't pay.
million CDs.
We did it in a
4
heartbeat.
million CDs.
So the key thing, once I have the opportunity, listen, the party's deficit requires that we do a radical change. And it's not about individuals. Let me commend the NDC. When they realized they had to move Haruna Idrisu to win Central Region, they did it. Haruna Idrisu is a colossal figure.
Yeah.
The NDC moved him from Parliament as a leader so that they could win Central Region.
Yeah.
You had also removed Kolafoko.
So my key point here is that, listen, it's not just about one individual. When it happened that Jonah had to be removed from the ship to save the ship, it happened. And it gets to a point that at some point in time, you need to remove any Jonah who may be thinking the ship.
So no comment.
Dr. Dixon Adomaki Kisi, thank you so much.
It's my brother, Jonah.
Honorable Abdul Fattah Hassan, thank you. Thank you. Unfortunately, we've run out of time. Larry Dogbe, thank you so much. But let me say good morning to... I'm moving all the journalists from here. Good morning to Philip Bedu Mensa of the GPHA. We respect you and we salute you. This has been the News Review segment here on Breakfast Daily. Stay with us. The show continues after this.